social media, mobile devices, they have changed us forever. And this is why I believe that today is the beginning of your future. Every day you go to work, you try to do a great job. You work very hard, you follow the rules, saying you do the right things. But while we're doing that, the world is changing. Every single day it's changing. And at some point, our future has to begin with not just saying, hey, wow, Brian, thanks for sharing that presentation with us today. It is an internal conversation you have to have with yourself. What am I going to do differently when I leave this conference? What do I have to learn? What's different about how I do things? I live in Silicon Valley. Good or bad, it's just where I live. But it is the heart of innovation. And every time I meet a new company, a new startup, a new entrepreneur, they don't tell me, hey Brian, let me tell you about all of the amazing lines of code that I just wrote. Or let me tell you about the future of augmented reality glasses. They tell you first a story. What made them think differently? What inspired them to be an entrepreneur? What inspired them to take a chance on their idea? That's what we all have to do as individuals. Is we have to take a chance on believing that tomorrow needs a different strategy. All innovation begins because you feel that something can be different and that you see that things can be different and that you can inspire other people to be different. This is a time of learning. We all have something to learn. I think that's why we're all here together, so that we can share what we believe is the future, so that we could learn together and we can grow together. But let me share with you what has been the hardest thing as I've studied innovation in every single industry. Was unlearning the things that I was taught to be the standard for success. This is how you compete. This is how you make money. This is how you win. All of those things are old. They're outdated. And the world is changing, and we are not changing ourselves. There's a famous author, his name was Leo Tolstoy. Maybe you've read his work. But he once said, we all talk of change, but none of us talk about changing ourselves. And this is where that story begins, is that while we are still working, while we are still trying to build the future with what we know, the whole idea of what is normal is different. What we believe as the standard is now different. It's changing. It's moving. And when you think about innovation, you have different people who see the world differently. I meet so many executives from banks, retail outlets, big brands, CPG brands, you name it, and they all focus on this customer. This is the customer that they know. This is everything about how they market and sell and run a business. That is their normal. And everything around them is wrong. This is what's wrong with society. Look at that. This woman here in the front row, she's the only one who's in the moment. Everyone else, they can't even put their phones down. And they judge this. They don't see how the world is different. But you could change that with a shift of perspective. That's all innovation is can you see something differently so that you can do something differently? You could say, wow, look at this selfish woman here in the front row, not sharing this very special moment with all of her Facebook friends who couldn't be there. It's perspective. And in all of my research, when I talk to businesses, What's holding you back? What's holding you back from changing the future? They'll always say the same things. Number one, the corporate culture does not allow them to be innovative. It holds them back. Number two, they just don't understand what's happening. Well, this is why there is so much disruption in the world. Because we are still operating from a playbook of yesterday. We have these goals. We have to meet financial goals. We have to make revenue. We have to make profit. But customers are changing. They don't care about your goals. We don't care about those goals. We want to live our best life.